Hey everyone, appreciate you all being here at USA Crypto Group. Today we have a project called G2 Token. G2 Token is set out to create a cryptocurrency that is backed by a real-world commodity, which is gold, for passive income, and it promises 1000x through its unique system and strategies. With that, I'd like to welcome Malik from the team. Malik, if you can start out introducing yourself. Give us some insight about your team, as well as your background and experience, please.
Yeah, okay. I'm an electrical electronics engineer and then worked as a software engineer. I have more than 25 years of experience. I also have a PhD degree in electronics. After my PhD, I moved to Silicon Valley in the US, and I lived around 2 years in Silicon Valley and developed software and worked with billion-dollar companies, giant companies in the US. Then, so last 2 years, we started to work with an exchange company to provide software support, and we realized there is a gap in the cryptocurrency world. So we decided to create a new cryptocurrency, and we established a new team, both from software engineers and finance background people and marketing people, to create this new token named G2 Token.
Thanks, Malik, for that introduction. All right, well, to start out, Malik, if you can give us what is G2 Token, and if you could briefly introduce us to the...
Okay. Sure. G2 token is an abbreviation for Global Gold Token. Hence, there is 2G at the start. We decided to make it, instead of GG, we decided to make it G2. So it's much more visible when there's a list in the exchange. So G2 token, and we selected global and gold words intentionally. Our goal is to make it globally used and widely used, and we back it with gold. This is why we selected these two words. G2 token is a cryptocurrency operating on Avalanche blockchain. We believe this is a game-changing digital currency. So there are lots of cryptocurrency, but we believe this is different than the others. So we put many firsts into practice. We applied several patents. So this is, we believe, unique in the world. The main idea is to converting the currency back to its original form. As you know, in history, humanity used gold as currency or money. And until 1971, there are lots of currencies backed with gold. So we decided to create a currency backed again with gold. Currently no fiat currency backed with gold. So our goal is to convert the currency back to its original form. And so our goal is to create the world's biggest gold fund behind the currency. So when we get the money from ICO, initial coin offering, we buy physical gold with 87% of the money obtained from ICO. So this is a huge amount of percentage. And we buy physical gold to support our currency, to make it a strong currency in the world. So with this gold backing and several patent applications, our expectation is, our vision is to make GT token is one of the star cryptocurrencies of the world.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. So to recap, what you said there, Malik was correct. Gold was backed by the dollar. I mean, the dollar was backed by gold until 1971, and that's when we removed the gold. That's when we removed the gold, and we allow ourselves or the government, central bank, whatever, to print it freely, right? And it's the reason why we go in debt, and which causes a lot of problems. Now, when you say you want to bring this back to its original form, meaning this project wants it to have the gold backing up the cryptocurrency, which was how it was started. Now, you mentioned, Malik, you said that the money that you raised from the ICO, you guys go out there and actually buy physical gold. Is that correct?
Correct. Right.
And what percent of that ICO that you said that you went out and bought physical gold?
87%.
87%. What is that equivalent to US dollar?
You are breaking. Can you ask again?
Oh, sorry about that. When you say 87%, what is that equivalent to in US dollars?
It depends on phases. We are marketing. We are launching the G2 token in phases to the market. So in each phase, we sell it at a different price. So whatever the price, we buy 87% of it and put into the gold fund, into the reserve. So the price is changing, but the amount of gold is always 87%.
Okay, I understood now. So the project has up to 70 phases. In each phase, they're considered as an ICO. Pretty much, they have an allocation of tokens to be sold to the public. And based on that amount of token, 87% of that token is going to be used to buy physical gold. Correct, Malik?
Exactly. Correct.
Okay, sounds good. Now, my second question for you is that why do you think it's necessary and why did you decide to create the G2 token?
Yeah, actually, cryptocurrencies are very popular nowadays, and it's very obvious because, as I said before, until 1971, governments backed banknotes or fiat currencies by gold. But after 1971, they just printed money without backing any gold in the reserve. So this opened a new way to new cryptocurrency. If you look at the history, the form of currency is always changing, and initially people just changing goods among themselves. Then they used gold and silver, and they used banknotes backed with gold. And recently, actually, we are using digital currency. We don't even use banknotes. So the form of the currency is changing. And cryptocurrency has an opportunity in this century because the governments can print as much as they want, and this causes a value loss of the currency. So if they don't give up backing gold, then they cannot easily print money, currency, banknotes, and the value of the currencies will not be lower. So we decided to convert the money back to its original form, which is backed with gold. If you look at the Federal Reserve, they are very successful, and they successfully made US dollar as the world trade currency. Currently, lots of states are using the US dollar to trade between themselves. So Fed is very successful. When you look at them, they initially reserved 60% with gold. So when they print 100 US dollar, they put around $60 gold into the reserve. So they back it with the 60% of the gold. So they are very successful, and we decided to follow the same steps with Fed and make our cryptocurrency to be able to use for world trade. Instead of 60%, we did even better. We decided to make it 87% back with gold. And as you know, all nations trust the gold. So our goal is to create something that can be used by all nations for the world trade. Cryptocurrencies are good alternative for the existing currencies, fiat currencies, fiat money, but they made the same mistake. They didn't back anything to be able to use for the world trade. If it's a currency, it should be used for the world trade. Otherwise, it cannot be long last. They will not exist in the future. So to be able to make sure it will exist in future, it should be used for the world trade. So we followed the steps of Fed and try to create a currency that will be used for the world trade. Because this is one of our vision. So we took the traditional gold-backed financial system and combine it with high technology, which is blockchain or cryptocurrency technology. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah,
that's
very
all
good
I can
point
say.
there. Yeah, thank you so much. Very good point there. Yeah, you're right. You know, right now even the dollar is not backed up by anything, right? So in a sense, it has no value. And the same thing goes with, you know, other 600,000 cryptocurrency out there. A lot of it is not backed by anything. So now recently we saw a bunch of exchanges, right? Exchanges went down because there isn't an actual reserve to back up the token. And we saw that what happened to these exchanges.
Yep, exactly.
But now G2 token is actually using not just something that's made of actual physical gold to back up your token. So meaning that you can liquidate that anytime when you want to sell your token, there's going to be something gold is going to back that up. So you can liquidate that no problem. So that's the intention behind the project there. And have more tokens. Right. So, well, we 600,000 currency now you feel that the different.
You are
talk about Malik?
Yeah.
One more time, you're breaking. I couldn't hear what.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep, now we can hear brother. No.
I don't get Telegram almost every single AMA. I know it's not my phone because Mike is having the same problem, so I'm not sure what it is. But I want to say that you know, we know that there's around 600,000 cryptocurrency at the moment. There's a lot of cryptocurrency out there. You mentioned a few. You mentioned the fundamental of your project is using gold to back up the token. Is there any other features that you want to talk about that differentiate you from other 600,000 cryptocurrency there?
It's a very good question. When we decide to create a cryptocurrency, this is one of the questions that people ask to us. They said there are lots of cryptocurrencies. Why you are creating another one? But we said we will create something different. We worked around 6 months to be able to create GT token. We have a unique cryptocurrency which is differs from all others. The unique feature is that, as you know, there are currently 2 types of cryptocurrency in the market: stable coins and unstable coins. Stable coins like Tether USD or PAXG, etc., meet the expectation of trust. People can trust, but it doesn't meet the expectation of high earnings. So there's no earnings at all. When you buy USDT, it's always one USD. So there is no earnings. There's a trust, but there's no earning. On the other hand, there is unstable coins like Bitcoin, Ether, AVAX, etc. They meet the expectation of high returns. There is a possibility that the value can increase. You can buy Bitcoin around $20,000. It may go up to 600 or 69,000 US dollars. So there's a potential profit or earnings there. But the problem with Bitcoin and Ether and others, there is nothing behind it. There's no commodity behind them. So value can go to zero, like what we saw in the case of Luna. So when we started to create a new token, we said, okay, there's two types of coins and there are benefits at each other. We asked ourselves, how can we smartly combine these two benefits in a new token such that there is some trust, there is some stability, and at the same time, there is some earnings. So people can earn and trust at the same time. So we worked around 6 months and designed G2 token with a patent application and patent idea. We smartly combined these two features and we created a third category named metastable. It's something like gold-backed Bitcoin. Assume current Bitcoin and assume it's gold-backed. And it's working something like that. When price of G2 token going up, it's similar to Bitcoin. It can freely go up. For example, Bitcoin can go to 1 million in future, and it's the same for G2 token. It can freely go up. There is no limitation in the design when the price is going up. But when the price is going down, Bitcoin price can even go to zero, like in Luna case. But in G2 token, it never goes to zero. The minimum amount it can go down is the amount of gold per token in the reserve. The gold comes to consideration when the price is going down. It limits. It's something like stop the loss feature. So I believe this is a very good feature. So it's a low risk, high earning potential system. So I believe this is unique. There is no token in the world like this.
I think so too. I think you guys have thought out a system that's actually very unique, but at the same time very simple as well. Even though the system is simple, I know there was a lot of thoughts that got put behind it. Like you mentioned, you want to create something that's actually backed by a real physical asset, which is gold. And you did make a reference that Bitcoin can go to zero because we all know that there isn't a physical asset backing it up, right? Just something as a dollar, really. But you want to create, now you said that you create this system called a metastable system, which just provides value and assurance to the coin because it's being backed by gold, which is really awesome. Now, later, I want to dive deep into your phases, into your ICO, and how that structure, how you guys are implementing that structure later. Or do you want to talk about that right now, Malik?
As I said, we have 70 phases, and each phase we assume an ICO, individual ICO. At each phase, what we do is we put gold into the gold fund to back the G token, and then serve G2 token as known number of or constant number of G2 token to the exchange, to the market. So, in each phase, when we complete ICO phase, when we sell all the tokens, at the next phase, we increase the amount of gold around 10% So at each phase, we put more gold into the gold fund to back the G2 token. And this caused an increase of the selling price of a company sale price or ICO price by 10% by backing 10% more gold in each phase. And after seventh phase, our goal is to make it 1,000 times more valuable from the phase one. We have a motto which is "Let your one be 1,000." This is where it comes from. So when you continue increasing 10% at each phase, after seventh phase, it will become 1,000 times more valuable at phase 70. And when we reach the phase 70, I believe it will be the biggest gold fund behind the currency. So we will establish the biggest gold fund in the world to support a cryptocurrency. So as I said initially, our goal to create a cryptocurrency that can be used for world trade. And if you support with the world's biggest gold fund, we believe it will be acceptable by all nations.
Yeah, it's actually put it's very simple, and it's actually very, very genius of you guys to figure out that system. Very simple, but very sophisticated at the same time. So pretty much you guys take the 87% of IO, you guys buy gold, but then every phase you increase the amount of gold of 10% into the fund. So therefore, the previous ICO people that bought into the prior phase will get an increase of 10%, pretty much each phase. Now, their plan is to go up to 70 phases, which ultimately will lead to 1,000-fold. Is that correct, Malik?
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it's an ingenious way of doing it. Very simple, but very sophisticated in the way they think. I mean, that's pretty straightforward. Very straightforward. Now, can I ask how many tokens are being for sale on each phase, and how many 8%? How much of gold into gold fund each phase?
Yeah, actually, it's detailed in the white paper, but basically, for the first 9 phases, we put 1 million G2 token. We serve 1 million G2 token to the exchange market. We started for the first phase, we put 1,000 grams of gold for 1 million. So we start selling 1,000 G2 tokens the price of 1 grams of gold. For the second phase, we increased the amount of gold to 1,200 grams, but we serve the same number of G2 tokens, like 1 million, to the market. So the amount of gold is increasing. Initially, it's something more, but for the after fifth phase, it's around 10%. At each phase, we increase 10%. And the amount of tokens start with 1 million for the first 9, then it becomes 2 million, 3 million, and it will increase to be able to make it to make the weighted sum of the all tokens to keep it at a reasonable value. So there's a mathematics behind it. So it's presented in the white paper. But the amount of gold is increasing at 10%, you may think.
At 10%. Okay. Okay, yeah. So automatically the people who bought into the ICO in the previous round would get pretty much a 10% guarantee.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's pretty ingenious. Now, can I ask you, Malik, what is the time frame? So let's say if you go to phase number 2, where you put in 1.2 gram or 1,200 gram of gold, and you're offering, 1 million tokens, like you said there. What is the time frame? What if you are unable to sell out the phase 2 of 1 million token? Do you let it sit there? What is the plan?
Actually, the only thing I cannot say is the time frame or duration, because it depends on the market conditions and how we can present it to the people. So it will be G2 token will be sold in the exchanges, and it depends on how people will buy it. But based on our experience previously, for the first 6 phases are completed around 1 month.
Okay.
But as I said, but as I said, it depends on the market conditions. So currently market is down, so the phases slow down. So it depends on either bear season or bull season. So it's not easy to provide time. We have all mathematics. We design everything. The only thing we cannot design is the time frame, and because we cannot control it.
Understood. All depends upon the situations and the circumstances and the market conditions of the time.
Exactly.
No, understood. All right, sounds good. Now I was going to ask you, how do you guys plan to achieve to increase the price by backing with gold up to 1,000% that you promise? But you kind of briefly touched on that already. Is there anything else you want to mention on that topic?
Yeah. Let me state one thing. Actually, backing with gold is not something unique to us. There are other cryptocurrencies backed with gold, like PAXG gold or Tether gold. The problem with them, they set to fixed amount of gold. And it's the same for Tether USD. As you know, it's set to one US dollar. And the value cannot increase. It's always 1 USD. Or in case of PAXG gold, they set the value to 1 ounce of gold, and they back it with 1 ounce of gold. And it's always fixed amount, so the value cannot increase. For example, 1 PAXG gold will never be 2 ounces of gold because they back with 1 ounce of gold. But in our design, in our unique design, the value can go up, and at the same time we back it with gold. So how we achieve it is, instead of setting it to fixed amount of gold, what we did, we established a gold fund, and we set the value of a token to a share of the gold fund. So the other implementations, they set it to a fixed amount of gold, like 1 gram or 1 ounce. But in our case, we set it to 1 share of the gold fund. So therefore, when the value of share is increased, this means an increase in the token value. If we somehow achieve to increase the amount of gold in the gold fund, this means the gold per share is increased, and it also means the value of share is increased, and this means hence 1 share is equal to 1 token, and the value of token is increased automatically. This is why we use smart supply system and put more gold in each phase to the gold fund to make it more gold, and the amount of gold per token is increased each phase. So this will cause an increase in the value of the token. So this is totally unique design as I said, there are other gold-backed tokens, but the value of them are not increased. But in our design, the value can be increased because we didn't set it to fixed amount. On the other hand, this design has another benefit. This is the first time a blockchain technology is used to prove the ownership of the share of the gold fund. As I said, one share of gold fund is equal to one token. Whoever owns the token, they can easily prove that they are the owner of the share of the gold fund. So it's the first time a blockchain technology is used to prove the ownership of the gold fund. I believe this is a novelty in the cryptocurrency implementations. And yeah. So,
yeah, I mean, it's, to simply put, because they are actually adding real gold to the gold fund in each phase, right? And every single token is being backed by an amount of gold. So let's say, Malik, you mentioned that you guys putting 1,000 grams of gold on phase 1 with the $1 million token. So did you guys hear me, or please start again?
I couldn't. I hear the first sentence, but not the others.
Okay, I was saying that you mentioned that you put 1,000 grams on the first of gold on the first phase with 1 million tokens. So pretty much one token is being backed by 0.001 gram of gold. So therefore, that's the stability of this project here. It's actually kind of ingenious, but very simple, actually, right? And the reason why I keep going up again is because, to simply put what he just said there, is because they are adding more gold, unlike other tokens where you have a fixed amount of gold, right? So that with them, they're adding more gold. So if you put more gold into the funds, it raises up the token value as well at the same time. I mean, it just easy math, right? I mean, it's just natural math there. But yeah, very simple, very sophisticated.
Thank you.
All right, Malik. Yeah. Thanks for that. Thanks for that question. And you guys' goal is to be the biggest gold fund in the world. Correct?
Correct.
And what phase are we at currently right now?
Yeah, we are at phase 7, and as I said, there are 70 phases, and we are currently at phase 7. This is still very early phase. As you know, when you invest early, you are more likely to earn more, and this is still very beneficial phases right now. And the other important thing, when phases are increased, the amount of gold is increased, and the assurance amount of assurance gold in the gold fund is increased as well. So when you invest today, when it's phase 7, you're more likely to get more gold in the gold fund what you paid today in future.
I see. Now, my question is, let's say if when you head towards that end of that 70 phases there, let's say you're at 65 or 68, for example. Now, the people who is towards the end of the, the phases there, they say, you know what, there's only 5 phases left. There isn't much of an upside for me to go in. What is the plan towards the end? What would happen?
Yeah, this is a very good question. We also ask ourselves, as I said, we worked around 6 months and asked ourselves all kinds of questions. This is one of the good questions to ask. It's still beneficial. Assume we have a similar system like Bitcoin. Our price can go up independent of the gold in the gold fund. Our mechanism allows the price can go up independent of the gold. So, but when the price is going down, it doesn't go below a certain value because of the gold in the gold fund. So it really go up. So when they buy it phase 65 or whatever, they still have some guarantee in the gold fund. And it's around, we are trying not to make less than 40% guaranteed money. So when we reach phase 65, we believe the brand values increased like similar to Bitcoin. So assume you have alternatives that zero guarantee and or 40% guaranteed gold in the fund. And the price can really go up. The price of G2 token can go to 1 million in the exchange market. There is no limitation when price is going up. But the risk is less than the other unstable coins, which is backed nothing. So which one do you prefer, with zero backed gold token or a token supported with the biggest gold fund? So ask this question to yourself. Which one do you prefer, with zero gold backed token, or around 40%? When we reach the phase 70, it will be back with around 40% of gold. We can increase this value to up to 80%. It's up to us. Or, but the minimum, it will be 40% of gold. So you still have some stability. Your money is guaranteed based on the gold, but high earning potential is the same with other tokens. So I believe people will prefer us, and when we reach the 65 or whatever phases.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point there actually, because if we look around, you still have other tokens that are not being backed by anything that are still continuing to go up. But like you said, you can at least be backed by 40%. And once the project gets to that certain level, especially in the phase 65 or 68 or whatever, the popularity of the token is, will be very popular, tremendously popular. By then.
Exactly.
So that there alone, I think that will drive the value in the token itself. So yeah, no, that's a great point.
Yeah, and another point, we are not limiting the upper price by putting gold in the gold fund. So the high earning potential is the same with other tokens. So the gold is not limiting the upper price. It's just limiting the lower price.
Correct.
The potential is the same with other unstable coins.
Correct. Now, Malik, you guys believed in your ideas and your strategy so much that you guys have 3 patents pending, correct? You guys applied for 3 patents.
Right.
Could you elaborate on that a little bit there? What those are and how are those going?
Sure. The first patent is about, as I said, establishing a gold fund and equating 1 share of gold fund to a token. So this enables us to get something back with gold, and at the same time, the value or price of the token can be increased. And this is a unique property, which is something that we back with gold and price can increase with a unique property. And I think this is the unique financial system in the world. So we applied a patent for it. So, but the idea is simple, just 1 token equal to 1 share of the gold fund. We applied a patent for this one. The second one is smart supply strategy. As I said, we supply it in 70 phases, and in each phase, we put more gold into the gold fund to be able to increase the price of the token. When we designed the token, we asked ourselves why people invest on a token or cryptocurrency or an asset. And the answer is simple. If the price of something is going up, people will invest on it. So people think that it continues to go up and they will get some earnings or benefit from it. So we decided to design a smart supply system, as I said, in 70 phases, and in each phase we put more gold into the gold fund to make the token price higher and higher at each phase. So when people look at it, the price is going up. And if you go to our website and look at the price in terms of USD, you will see that it's going up at each phase based on our design. And we achieved and we applied a patent to it. And there are some other tokens, they are selling in phases, and they are they say there's a discount in each phase, and they are decreasing the amount of discount at each phase. This is totally different what we achieved here. They are putting zero gold, or they are backing zero. They are just decreasing the discount amount. Hence, it's back to zero. You can discount whatever you want, but backing something with a real asset and price increase in each phase is totally different than other methods. So this is an invention, and we applied that for a patent for it. And the third patent is about company payback guarantee. We are, as a company, we make an assurance that when you buy a token, you can always sell it back to the company. And we can buy all tokens in the world, all G2 tokens in the world back. We guarantee that. We guarantee that based on the gold in the gold fund. But this payback guarantee doesn't mean whatever you pay it, we will give it back to you. This is not possible, of course. But what we got, because we don't know which price you buy at the exchange. But what we know, the amount of gold in the gold fund and the amount of token released at the market. So we know the amount of gold per token. We always guarantee that when you give it back to us, we will give the gold or the money of the gold back to you. And this is the third patent. So our system is based on 3 patents and 3 inventions. That's pretty much all.
Awesome. Thanks for that explanation there, Malik. All right. Yeah, so I think it's it's very simple but very straightforward, but it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. It's pretty much risk, which is old, right? And that's something we saw what's happening with the exchanges lately, right? When there's an actual reserve or an actual enough reserve, token fall, right? Because people want to liquidate when they want to sell the token. You have 2 token here. It's pretty much have physical gold to ensure that you're able to liquidate when you want to. Now, where are physical gold or bars have been kept at, and how are you guys to ensure the safety of it?
As you know, there are vaults, so you can save your gold and other valuable things. And banks has vaults, and also private companies has vaults. And PAXG has tons of gold, and they store it in individual vaults in UK. And we do the same. We save the money in 2 ways. The first one is we buy physical gold and store it in the vaults, either in the banks or the private vaults. And the second method, also there are some banks selling gold, and like in your account, when it's similar to USD, you see how many grams of gold you have in your bank account. And we also buy this one because when cash is needed for company payback guarantee, we can easily convert it to money. This is a fast way of converting gold to currency. So we also buy some gold from the banks to be able to convert it currency easily. But most of the things we buy gold and keep them in the secure vaults.
Awesome. Okay, now I also know that you guys are on a few CEX exchanges. Can you let us know what those are?
It's listed on LBank, and in this month we signed agreements with 4 exchanges. Tomorrow or maybe today, because of the time difference, but it's around 7 hours later, it will be listed at P2P exchange. And in this month, it will be also listed at CoinSpeed, Tidex, and Asbit. So it will be total 5 exchanges at the end of this month.
Wow. So okay. So five CEX exchanges on its way. How long have you guys been around? When was the first phase started?
It's around more than a year. We started December 2021. So maybe 14 or 15 months. But as I said, there are 6 months preparation. So if you get it makes around 2 years.
Yeah. Okay. And you guys on some of the very big exchanges actually. So currently you're on LBank right now. That's being traded right now, correct? There, Malik.
Correct. LBank, you said, right?
Yes, LBank.
Yes. It's in 20 in CoinMarketCap. It's around 20, in between 20 ranks, and the other one's also around 30 or 50 rank at CMC.
Right. Now, let's say if you guys are on phase 7 right now, how do investors want to buy into the phase 7 right now? Where can they buy the tokens?
Yeah, I hope it will be in Binance and other exchanges as well, so they can all tokens aims to be listed at Binance. I believe when we reach to phase 70, this means we already achieved establishing the biggest gold fund, and I believe you will get Binance and other big top 5 exchanges.
So I guess let me rephrase my question. So right now, every phase you have an ICO, right? The ICO tokens, they're being issued through the CEX exchanges. Is that what you're saying?
Right.
Okay, so you just go into the CEX exchange and you just buy the tokens like regular tokens, even though you guys call that ICO, but you just buy it off on the CEX exchange, correct?
Right, exactly. Yeah, it's around September 2022. It's listed at LBank, so people can buy and sell at LBank. Yeah, you can think it's a regular term, but we say ICO because of our mechanism. As we said, we assume when company sells a token, we buy. When we get money, we buy gold with 87% of it. This is why we call it ICO. But actually, it's just a regular token sold in the exchange.
Awesome. Awesome. I just want to clarify that. Okay, yeah. So if you guys are listening, you guys want to partake in this token, the ICO, it's just a regular token that you can buy on the exchange on LBank right now. And we got P2P coming out, and CoinList is coming out, and along with other CEX exchanges as well. So they're all moving pretty fast here. That's a lot of exchanges already. All right, Malik. Well, I think we have touched on everything. Is there something that we missed that you want to speak on?
Yeah, I believe that's nearly everything. But if you have any other questions to clarify, I'll be happy. Maybe I can briefly mention about company payback, guaranteed payback. For example, as I said, we are at phase 7 currently. And when somebody buy a token in this phase, around 62% of investment is guaranteed as a gold in the gold fund in this phase. And when the investor wait till phase 13, it gets 100% guarantee, because in each phase we put more gold into the gold fund. This means the guaranteed amount or company payback amount is increased. So just buy it and wait, then you will get 100% guarantee. Even today, when you buy one token, it's 62% of your investment is guaranteed as a gold in the gold fund. So, but the potential of the prices going up is limitless. So it can go up in the exchange as much as it can. So there's no limitation, as I said. But 62% is guaranteed today, and the minimum number at phase 70 will be 30% of people investment when they buy at the time of phase 70, 40% will be guaranteed. But today, 62% is guaranteed. As I said, if they wait enough, the guarantee amount will be increased 100%, even more. For example, when people buy from 1 gram of gold at phase 1 for 1,000 G2 token, today when they sell it back to the company, the amount of gold in the reserve is 1.4 grams. So it even more guaranteed what they paid at phase 1. And it will be the same for phase 7. When they wait enough, the amount of gold will increase even what they paid to be able to buy it in future phases. So it's something like weighted average sum of the gold. So the amount of total gold is divided by all tokens. And so early phases, beneficial phases. I suggest not to miss these early phases. It's very beneficial to buy these early phases. And we call it low risk, high earning potential system. And I believe this is unique for cryptocurrency world, because either you take a risk or just invest in a safe one. But in our case, it provides some stability, low risk, backing gold, but high earning potential is the same with other unstable tokens. As much as it can. It's based on how people want to pay in future in exchange market. I think that's all.
Yeah, thanks for that, Malik. Towards the end there, you were also breaking out a bit, but I heard what you said there. Yeah, awesome. Now, my last question for you, Malik, before we take questions from the community is, besides the marketing from the exchanges that you guys are going on, are you guys doing any other things for marketing?
Yeah, of course. We have a marketing team. We are using social media. And we advertising on Facebook, Instagram, and other things. And we also invest on other advertisement channels. So we are also looking for other opportunities as well.
Awesome. Yeah, I think overall, like I say, the concept is actually very simple. You guys have simplified it, but I know there's been a lot of thoughts that you guys put into it to make that simple, right? But I think
Right. We worked on it around 6 months. We asked ourselves, and we tried to improve it again and again and again in these 6 months. Then we tried to make it simple, understandable, so people invest something if they can easily understand it. But there's a strong mathematics behind it.
There is, and I definitely can see it. I'm a math guy too, and so when I look at this, I definitely get what you guys are trying to accomplish here. I understand the system. I think it's actually ingenious. Very smart of you guys to think of this. But yeah, I think now is pretty much getting this in front of people, right? Your videos are short, very easy to understand. But yeah, it's about getting this, your concept in front of people and convey in a way where they can just understand it like that very fast, And I think it's pretty straightforward. Pretty much you input the goal and the funds, that increases the value of the token. I mean, simply put, it's easy as that, right?
And again, I should state that we follow the steps of the Federal Reserve. They successfully made the US dollar used for world trade, and we just follow the same steps, just backing the gold, and use this traditional method, just combine it with the high-tech technology, which is blockchain technology. This is what we did.
100%. 100%. Well, awesome, Malik. I think you articulate yourself very well. I think you guys, from the website to everything, I read through the website, the videos. It was very easy to understand. I think all this is really, again, it's, getting this in front of people, in front of a lot of people. And then I think they'll get it.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, Malik, well, with that said, we're going to go ahead and take some questions from the community. Mike's been keep tracking the questions. So he's going to come on and read some of the questions away.
All right. Thank you, Seattle. Thank you, Malik. That was a great presentation there. One of the questions I had for myself here, I'm going to start off with is NFTs. Do you have any plans to implement any sort of NFTs? And if you do, what would be some of the characteristics or any sort of play in the token the NFTs would have?
Yeah, of course, there may be some, but it will be limited actually, because our goal is actually different than other cryptocurrencies. Our goal is to create something that can be used for the world trade. We call it currency. Even we put crypto in front of it, it's currency, and it should be used for the world trade. This is what we are trying to achieve, and this is our main focus. But of course, to be able to reach this one, for marketing purposes, we may create some NFTs, but I believe it will be limited.
Perfect. Appreciate that. And I just wanted to remind the community real quick, if there's any questions you want to ask on voice, please feel free at any point in between the questions being asked to ask yourself here on voice. I'm going to get into some of the text questions here. Bonanza from Telegram here is asking, with building such a complex project, what would be the biggest part you would say that's been your biggest challenge in development to date?
I believe reaching to more people is the biggest challenge in front of us. So having a big community is the biggest challenge on us. I believe we designed something good, and we have a very good mathematics behind it. We work everything on it, but the only missing part is the establishing a big community to make it to make token brand known by everybody.
Well said. That's well said. That's one of the biggest, problems anybody faces is, the onboarding and, getting it out to the masses 100%. All right. Let's see. Stefan's great has the next question here. What will happen when eventually an allocated token to be sold in a phase is not fully sold? Will the remaining tokens be shifted to the next phase or burned?
Nothing happens. We just wait. So the company has a price, listing price. We cannot sell it behind below this value because we put gold for it. If we sell low price, this means we, as a company, we have to pay the remaining from our pocket. So we don't want it. We just wait till all tokens sold. Otherwise, we will not change the fee. And I hope it will not be the case. And our expectation is just sell every phase in time and switch to the next phase. So we will be happy and investors will be happy.
100%. Thank you for that. Let's see. Next question is rolling in from Star Gems here. Confidentiality and anonymity has always been a priority for projects in development of their own platform and technology. So, do you have any solutions or technology plans to improve user confidence in this issue? And how secure is your smart contract against attacks? What, if you can, speak on any audits you have right now and looking to get completed?
As I said, we have technology background, and we started to use open source smart contract, but we are also working closely with an exchange. And we provided software support for them, and doing work with them, we realized there are some defects at OpenZeppelin. We also improved and fixed the bugs, and I believe it's safe. We also plan to audit the contract soon. As you know, when there's a problem, we currently sell all the tokens via exchanges, and we can easily upgrade token if that's something found during audit. Recently, we upgraded our contract to build some tokens. Initially, our plan just mint 20 billion tokens, but not to release them to the market without putting gold into the gold fund. Just reserve tokens and not release to the market. But we realized it's not well understood, and it causes problems when people see lots of tokens over there. So we decided to upgrade the token, just burn them, and just mint whatever we are planning to release. So what I'm trying to say, we have technology and we audited our technology team. But if there's something seen a problem, then we can easily upgrade the contract.
Perfect. Thanks for that, Malik. Next question is rolling in from Selvi here. As we just talked about a minute ago, onboarding the community is a huge aspect and key to building growth. So is there any sort of DAO option or any way the community can collaborate to help you with the development of the project?
Is this technical questions from technical perspective, or is it just perspective?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that, Malik. The question was, is there any options for the community to help maybe vote for some sort of development in the project?
Yeah, in which it may be. We can establish an environment around it, because, as I said, our goal is to make it to be used for the world trade. So for that vision, we have to establish an environment around it to be able to use it. But again, we are very early phase. I believe when we increase the amount of gold and it is bigger, then we will be open more projects to be able to make G2 token widely used in the world.
Makes sense. Perfect. Thank you, then, Malik. Second question from Selvi is talking about the phases. As phase 1 through 6 is completed and closed, and you're on phase 7, we know that there's a little bit benefits to coming into the early phases, but is there anything stopping anyone from the early phase contributions from joining in and contributing to a later phase? So say if I was in phase 1, I could still come in on phase 7 for an additional cost, correct?
Freely sold in the exchange, so everybody can buy and sell at each phase. With limitations, and we want other people just to keep some certain amount of duration. When buy today, they can sell immediately, or if they buy previously, they can sell today. So it's open to everybody. But initially in phase 1 and phase 2, what we did, it was just limited people to buy a certain amount of to be able to build a community and to be able to reach more people. But today, it's at the exchange market, so we cannot control. Everybody can buy and sell today. So there is no limitation now.
Perfect. No limitations. You can buy any phase, whether 1 or more. All right, so moving on to the next question is, what have you raised through all of your phases to date, 1 through 6, even though we're on 7? What's the total dollar value of total raised so far?
We are in the middle of phase 7, and it's we have around 10 kilograms of gold, and it makes around $600,000 US.
$600,000 to date. Okay, thank you for that, Malik. So talking on to partnerships here, do you happen to have any partnerships you'd like to speak on that you currently have or is looking to onboard in the future?
It's not possible to grow up without partnerships. Of course, we're planning, but hence we are very busy this month. We are getting lots of partnership offerings, and unfortunately, we cannot answer all of them. We just ask to give us some time. But of course, partnerships are crucial, and cannot grow up.
Perfect. Next question is coming in from Random Guy, and this will be one of the last questions here. I got a couple more anyways. His question is, with the launch of the global gold token on the Avalanche blockchain, will you be able to accommodate all the utilities that the team is looking to integrate into the ecosystem only on the AVAX blockchain, or will you be spreading out to other blockchains?
It's possible to spread the other blockchains. Of course, just you can write bridge code to be able to use other blockchains. It's possible. But what we are trying to achieve is good enough for start. So our plan is to continue at Avalanche for some time. And when we go a certain amount of gold in the gold fund, then we can go to other blockchains as well. But the current plan is to stay at Avalanche for some time in future.
Perfect. All right, the last question I'm going to take here for the community, and I always like to tell the community if there's any questions that I missed. I think I got all of them anyways. Head on over to the G2 Token Telegram and ask any questions. The team is there ready to answer anything. But the last one I'm going to say from Bonanza here is spreading awareness to the project that we talked about is one of the biggest feats. Onboarding people is going to be the biggest hurdle, I guess you could say, in the long run. What do you have plans besides, your white paper and the pitch deck to educate the masses who have never bought a cryptocurrency to come onto your project?
Yes, we have a YouTube channel. We have some videos over there. I strongly suggest watch them. And they provide the basic idea. It's very simple. But what we are planning to do is just prepare some short animations or short movies, just to give them basic ideas, not to present everything, because it may take 1 hour to present everything. Nowadays, people don't have time more than 10 seconds. So we are prepared to prepare short videos to present the basic ideas, one idea to each video, something like that, to educate more people about G2 token.
Perfect. You said the users could find all that information through your YouTube channel, correct?
Right. Yeah. Currently, we have around 8 videos to provide more inside information about the G2 token system, how it works, what it is, and you can find lots of good presentations there.
Perfect. Thank you for that. And Malik, if you'd like to, or if you or one of the team members like to share your YouTube channel, we can go ahead and pin that. But that is it for the questions that I have here, Malik. And if anybody else wants to ask that question, feel free to. And if not, I'm going to kick it back to Seattle. And I appreciate you answering those questions, Malik. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
All right, thanks, Mike. Thanks, Malik, and I appreciate everyone for those questions there. Great questions and very well articulated there, Malik. Yeah, I think so. Just to recap, guys, the project is backed by a real commodity, which is gold. We started out with the dollar backing up with gold. That went away in 1971. So pretty much this project here is trying to bring that back. You have many cryptocurrency currently that's not been backed by anything. So the project can literally fall down to zero, as we've seen. Many have already as well. So this guarantee you, even if you're at 65 or 66 stage, towards the end, you can at least be backed by 40% of gold, which is something that's very safe, actually. So overall, I think the project is actually great, very well thought out, very simple. And it's pretty much a guarantee increase in your investment, pretty much, because they are adding gold to each phase. So, if they're adding gold to each phase to the fund, that ultimately brings the value of your token as well. So with that said, Malik, is there a last word you want to leave us with before we do the giveaway?
I want to thank you all and all your team to give this opportunity to me to present the project. And I believe this is one of the nice Ask Me Anything meeting for me. And thank you for all the questions who asked during this meeting. And I hope we can present the basic idea of G2 token. And I invite everybody to watch the YouTube videos to get more info about the project. And again, thank you and thanks to all your team for this nice meeting.
Yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you, Malik, and also great meeting you. But like always, guys, this is not financial advice, and we don't have any kind of commitment to the team. Again, I appreciate everyone being here. Now, Malik, would you like us to raise awareness to your Telegram by sending people over there? Maybe I'll have Mike's gonna go over there, pick one winner, $10. Is that something that you want us to do?
Okay, sure.
Oh, I didn't hear you there, Malik. You got cut off there.
Yeah, of course. You can continue.
Okay, perfect. All right, guys. Well, I think Johnny's gonna drop the Telegram channel, and we're gonna pin the LBank exchange as well, the direct link into getting the token as well. They are at phase 7 right now. So if you guys want to participate in the phase 7, you can always get the tokens on the exchange there. They do have quite a bit of CEX exchange coming up as well, some big ones coming up. So I think they're all moving over there pretty quick. Okay, so with that, Mike's going to come on and it's going to do the giveaway. At this stage here, Malik, it's up to you. I'm not sure where you're at, but it's up to you if you want to stay for the giveaway, or you can go and get some sleep. It's all up to you.
I can stay till the end. I just wonder.
Perfect. All right.
All right, guys. Well, it's giveaway time. We have $20 that will be given away tonight on the wheel. I've gotten down everyone's name, like always. And we still have that Twitter event going on. Go like, comment, retweet, and we'll pick a $25 winner tomorrow on Twitter. And also a best question. We'll be doing $20 there as well. I'll be sifting through all of the questions there. And like Seattle said, we're going to also do an additional $10 winner over to the Telegram of G2 Token. Drop a sticker there. And I'll be over shortly to pick an additional winner there. After I upload everything to YouTube here, we'll be having an additional $15 giveaway that we'll be also picking tomorrow with the Twitter. And we're looking forward to that. And Malik, I will get this recording uploaded to YouTube ASAP and get you over a copy also as soon as possible. That being said, let's shuffle this up and grab our winner off the wheel. Let's go.
All right, let's pick me or Malik. How's that sound, Mike?
Oh, man, I wish I could turn the wheel a little more. Wine, congratulations. Won yourself $20, my man. That is it for the wheel. And like I said, we'll have everything posted and pinned up here shortly of winners and the YouTube link. And thank you, guys. We will. It's always good seeing a lot of new faces. I did see quite a few new faces here tonight. A lot of familiar faces, like always. I appreciate you all for coming in tonight to USA Crypto Group for tonight's AMA with G2 Token with Malik here and also G2 Token here. And we'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much.
All right, thanks, Malik. Thanks, everyone, again. And we'll see you guys on the next one.